Thanks students. Now we'll continue our economics lesson 1, gross domestic product and its growth and introduction. I hope you remember our previous class. Let us recall what we learned in the last class. We learned about GDP. It is the market value of all final goods and services produced in the country during a time period. There we talk about market value, that is the price at which goods and services are sold in the market. Here the market value is based on the country's currency, that is in India we are using Indian rupee. Then we talk about goods and services. Goods are tangible, services are intangible. The economists Taylor Cowan and Alex Tabarrok, they use the term intermediate goods and final goods while we are calculating GDP. Then we talk about national income. It is the total value of goods and services produced by an economy over a period of time. Under that we talk about various terms associated with the national income, that is our GNP, GDP, NNP, NDP. Then we use the term depreciation. Then whether you remember the formula for calculating per capita income, that is national income divided by total population. Then we talk about personal income and disposable income. Under that we use the term direct taxes. Then the next concept is methods of calculation of GDP, that is the way in which we will calculate our GDP of the economy. Totally we are using 3 approaches. The first one is our expenditure approach. Under that we want to add all the expenditure incurred on making a final goods and services in the economy. Here they are giving a formula Y. Y is equal to GDP. That is, we want to add all the expenditure. C means consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, G for government expenditure, and we want to subtract export minus import. That will determine the GDP under the expenditure approach. The second one is income approach. Under this income, we want to add all the earnings of both men and women in the economy. That is the way in which people will earn income. So whether you know what are the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and organization. These are the 4 factors, and the remuneration paid for these 4 factors are wages, rent, interest and profit. These are the 4 ways in which people will generate income in the economy. So under this income approach we want to add, that is Y. Y means GDP is equal to wages plus rent plus interest plus profit under this income approach. The third one is the value added approach. Under that we want to add all the values of intermediate goods, and that will determine the value for our final goods. I'll explain this with the making of cup of tea. So for making a cup of tea, we need tea powder, sugar, milk and water as a intermediate goods. The cup of tea as a final good. So we want to add the value of all intermediate goods, that will determine the value of our cup of tea. So these are the 3 methods of calculation of GDP. Now students, you remember this one is a detailed question. So you please study properly and revise and write. Now we'll move into the next concept, importance of GDP. That is, after calculating our GDP, what are the uses we are deriving out of it? First one is to know about economic growth. That is, we can know about how far we achieved growth in an economy. Generally, the world countries are divided into developed or developing economy. By calculating our GDP, we can know about our Indian economy. Basically, you know it, India as a developing economy. The second one is unequal distribution of wealth. Generally in developing countries, these kind of inequalities prevail. Inequalities of opportunities, that is, we are facing both employed situation as well as unemployed situation in India, and that determines this unequal distribution of wealth. The third concept is problem of inflation and deflation. Here the term inflation determines increase in price level of the product. Deflation, decrease in price level. The value of GDP determines the price level of the economy. If there is decrease in GDP, the government will insist the prices to shoot up. They will increase the price level. Consider the present prices of fuel and gold at nowadays. These are increases due to decrease in value of GDP. Then the third one is guide to economic planning. While we are calculating our GDP, we can know about the economic position of the country. Under that, we can make planning, we can make policies for different sectors of the economy. Then the next one is we can compare our economy with developed countries. Developed countries are our USA, UK, Japan, China, like that. While we have calculated our GDP, we can compare our GDP with these kind of developed countries. The last one is we can estimate the purchasing power of the people. Purchasing power is nothing but the amount at which we are using for purchase. That is how much we are spending. That depends on the price level of the economy. So all these are the important. The next one is the limitations of GDP. That is, what are the drawbacks of calculation of GDP. Under that, the first one is several important goods and services are left out of GDP. Here, while we are calculating our GDP, we are considering the market value of certain goods only. We are omitting certain things, that is, we are omitting the parental care, that is, the love and care provided by the parents depends on money value. But this service is not added in our calculation. So that is one thing. Then second one is using a clean air. You know it. Clean air determines a healthy life of the people. Clean air is must for the humans, but we are not calculating this in our GDP. Then next one is GDP measures only quantity and not quality. While we are adding the GDP value, we are considering the quantity, that is how much we produced in the economy, and we are not bothering about the quality of our product. Generally, while we talk about quality, we want to compare our products with the international country, but quality wise we are lacking. So GDP measures only the quantity of the goods and services and not the quality of the products. The next one is GDP does not tell us about the way income is distributed in the economy. That is, you know it, GDP is growing in our economy, but still inequalities prevail in our country. That is, people are lacking with employment opportunities. Because in India, more than 30% of population faces unemployment problem, and some are facing underemployment and some are facing low paid wages, and these are not calculated in our GDP. Then the last one is GDP does not tell about the kind of life people are living. That is the way in which people are living. That is simply the standard of living of the people. The standard of living determines by income, health, education, opportunities, political system and pollution. While we are talking about the standard of living of people, think about in agriculture sector, due to lack of income, many farmers are attempting suicide. That shows the low standard of living of the agriculture sector people. Then the increase in pollution leads to decrease in health conditions of the people. Then we know about our education. Nearly 40% of people are uneducated in India. Then regarding opportunities, just now I told about employment opportunities. Then these are the problem people are facing in the economy, but these are not calculated in our GDP. These are the drawbacks of GDP. So now consider all this limitation. While we are calculating our GDP, we want to achieve economic development. So either the government or the economists must restructure the calculation of GDP. Then only we can achieve a good prosperity for the economy. The next one will move into the calculation of GDP. How we are calculating our GDP. GDP is the total value of goods and services. Under that, we want to add up all consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus export minus import. They are giving a formula. Under that, we want to add up all these things that will give the value for our GDP. That is, the calculation of GDP shows the economic value of the country. That shows the economic health. Under that, we will use the term financial year. We are calculating our GDP for a financial year that starts from April 1st to March 31st. Same way, whether you heard about academic year, it starts from June to April, and a calendar year that starts from January to December. But in economics, we will use a term financial year for all monetary purpose. Here we are calculating our GDP for a financial year plus under the 4 quarters. We are dividing the 12 months into 4 types. Under that, first quarter 1, Q1 is April, May, June, Q2, July, August, September, Q3, October, November, December, Q4, January, February, March. So we are calculating our GDP under the financial year. The modern concept of GDP was first developed by Simon Kuznets of USA. So it was developed in USA, and followed by that we are also calculating our GDP. The Central Statistical Organization under the Ministry of Statistical Department of Government of India estimates GDP in India.